There is only one monster whose attack and defense is not divisible by 50 that wasn't used by Panic, and this was number S39 Utopia Prime, who was used by Yuma. This is one of the few monsters that has an attack and defense which no other monster has. Another monster that has an attack and defense that no other monster has is Master of Oz. Gate Guardian is the first level 11 monster to be released in the OCG and TCG. The spell card Legendary Black Belt appears in the card art of Tyler the Great Warrior, and the kanji that is shown on the belt roughly translates to spirit or soul. There are 3 cards that can only be activated while the player controls 3 specific monsters, and these cards are Huge Revolution, Ojama Delta Hurricane, and Triangle O. Galaxy Rebirth is the only quick play spell that can be equipped to a monster. The fist that appears in Smashing Ground belongs to Manticore of Darkness. The monster even has a counterpart called Manticore of Smashing. Magical Abductor was the first pendulum monster that could have counters placed on it while it was in the pendulum zone. Heated Heart is the only one of the hero spell cards that doesn't target any hero monsters, and the other 3 hero spells specifically target elemental hero monsters, and Hero Flash also only targets elemental hero monsters. The only main deck Numeron monster is Numeron Wall. The legendary Exodia Incarnate was one of the few cards to debut in a video game before being released as a physical card. It first appeared in the Duelists of the Roses, however was not a playable card. It would appear in the library of a player who performed an Exodia instant win. 8 Claw Scorpion's effect allows its attack to become 2400. This multiplies its original attack by 8, which may be a reference to the card's name. The monster that appears in the cost down card art is Hitotsumi Giant. At the time of its release, the card was used to summon higher level monsters without tributes. However, this would be irrelevant if used on Hitotsumi Giant, as the monster is already level 4. The last number monster summoned in Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal was number 99 Utopic Dragon. Cybertech Alligator was the first level 5 normal monster to have 2500 attack. This is currently the highest of any level 5 normal monster in the game, tied with Mandragon. The letter D on the card Toolbox stands for Deformer, and this is because Deformer is the Japanese name for the Morphtronic archetype. Negate Attack was originally a quick play spell in the anime and manga. The monster that appears in Trap Hole appears in several other card artworks, including Fisher, Giant Trap Hole, O-Fish, Trap Tricks, Trap Hole Nightmare, and Treacherous Trap Hole. In the card art for Fisher, it would appear that the monster is climbing out of the trap hole it was trapped in. The first non-dragon type synchro monster that Jack Atlas summons is Chaos King Archfiend. He summons this monster in episode 76 of 5Ds, but funnily enough, the card doesn't even belong to him. The first non-dragon type synchro monster he summons from his own deck is Crimson Blader in episode 153 of 5Ds. Magician of Hope was the first extra deck pendulum monster that didn't debut in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc V anime or manga. There are no level 13 monsters, however there are 2 rank 13 monsters, Raid Raptor Rising Rebellion Falcon and number IC1000 Numeronius Numeronia, although Rising Rebellion Falcon never appeared in any anime or manga. However, there is a 3rd rank 13 Xyz monster that has never been printed, and this is New Order 13 Etheric Amon, which was actually the first rank 13 Xyz monster to be shown. This monster holds the record for the most Xyz materials attached to one Xyz monster, reaching a total of 33. Now it's time for a trivia round. How many times does Yugi use the Eye of Timaeus throughout Duel monsters? Could it be A, 6, or maybe it's B, 9, or is it C, 11? The correct answer is B. Paleozoic hallucigenia is based on a hallucigenia, an extinct animal that was discovered through fossils, and the way Paleozoic hallucigenia appears is based on early depictions of the creature. On the 16th of December 2011, a book was released called Duel Art. The book was illustrated by Kazuki Takahashi and contained several illustrations from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, including characters and monsters from Duel monsters all the way up to Zexal. Elemental Hero Mudbull Man is the only extra deck effect monster that doesn't actually have an effect. This is because its effect only consists of a summoning condition. Fire is the least represented attribute in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime and manga, excluding Divine. The divine attribute only initially consisted of the 3 original Egyptian god cards. However, when the god cards were released, they were illegal in official play. Therefore, the attribute was not considered legal until Obelisk the Tormentor was first released as an effect monster. This was in 2008. However, it wouldn't be until 2013 where all 3 Egyptian gods had received legal releases. The ultimate creature of destruction is based on when Kyberman summons Blue Eye's ultimate dragon in episode 34 of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. You can see that the pose of Blue Eye's ultimate dragon has been perfectly mimicked by the card. 7 crystal fruits appear on the crystal tree card artwork. This could be to represent the original 7 crystal beast monsters. Gem Knight Prismora is the first Gem Knight monster not to be named after a gemstone. Zexal Weapon Tornado Bringer is the only Zexal Weapon monster to make a reappearance in a duel outside of the duel that it debuted in. In the anime, this monster's type was Warrior. However, for its OCG and TCG release, the monster's type was changed to Dragon. Neo Galaxy Eye's Photon Dragon is the first Xyz monster Kite uses in Zexal that isn't a number card. It's also the card with the highest attack out of all Photon monsters. Scrap Shark has the highest attack of all level 4 or lower scrap monsters, as well as all level 4 or lower fish monsters. Neospatian Twinkle Moss is the only Neospatian monster to not have a contact fusion with Elemental Hero Neos. The monsters that appear in double hero attack are Elemental Hero Magma Neos and Elemental Hero Shining Flare Wingman, and these were the 2 hero fusion monsters summoned during the final turn of the final duel of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. There is only one fire attribute Elemental Hero Fusion monster that lists Burstinatrix as fusion material, and that monster is Elemental Hero Phoenix Enforcer. Star Eater was the first level 11 extra deck monster. Big One Warrior is a level 1 monster with 100 attack that has an effect that targets one level 1 monster and is shown holding one finger up with a 1 over its face. Mirage Tube is the only quick play spell that can't be activated from the hand. Sea Monster of Theseus is the first tuner fusion monster, as well as the first fusion monster that requires tuners' fusion material. This monster also has the shortest card text in terms of word count. Contract with Don Thousand's effect in the anime was the first card that allowed a player to pay their opponent's life points instead of their own. Super Heavy Samurai Steam Train King has the highest original defense of all synchro monsters. Zoa has the highest attack and level of all Fiend type normal monsters. Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max was the first rank 10 to be released in the OCG and TCG. Royal Straight Slasher was the last monster used by Yami Yugi in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime to be released in the OCG and TCG. Quattro uses a monster in Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal called Fiendish Knight. However, when this card was released, it was revealed that it was actually part of the gimmick puppet archetype. So you made it this far, but can you answer this? Who was the first character that appears in 5Ds? Leave your answers in the comments.